The Punjabi short story Saab Nal Mlaqat by Mustafa Sajjad Haider exposes the grinding machinery of petty corruption through the desperate eyes of Shahab Din, a man whose livelihood is literally one bureaucrat's whim away from total collapse. It's a stark look at how systemic bribery functions as a gatekeeper for the most basic human dignity. Shahab Din is pacing outside an office, terrified that missing a meeting with the official inside will mean losing his hoka, or small kiosk. The local committee clerk has given him a final deadline, and if he doesn't secure this meeting today, everything he's built will be leveled. That sense of absolute precarity is what hits you first, the idea that a man's entire world can be undone because he can't get past a door.
It's a textbook study in what sociologists call petty corruption, which is often far more damaging to the social fabric than the multi-million-dollar scandals we see in the headlines. In this story, the character Shahab Din is physically weak from the stress, almost fainting, and that's when the gatekeeper appears, the peon. The peon isn't just a messenger here, he's the predatory mediator. He watches Shahab Din like a cat watching a bird. He knows exactly how much pressure to apply and when to offer the solution that costs money Shahab Din doesn't have. He even corrects Shahab Din when he's called Saab. He says the real Saab is inside in the chair, I'm just a peon. It's a false humility that highlights the rigid hierarchy they're both trapped in.
That interaction between them is so cynical. The peon actually tells him his flattery is a waste of time because flattery doesn't fill stomachs in that office. He basically mocks Shahab Din for being thick-headed because he's trying to use respect instead of cash. When Shahab Din finally offers 50 rupees, the peon scoffs. He tells him that even the head clerk won't look at him for less than 1,000. It's this auctioning of access. The peon eventually graciously settles for 700 rupees, acting as if he's doing Shahab Din a massive favor. It's a masterclass in how institutional barriers are manufactured specifically to be sold back to the people they're supposed to serve.
The psychological toll is what Haider captures so well. As soon as the price is mentioned, Shahab Din's mind drifts to his family. He realizes that this bribe money means he won't be able to buy books for his son Iqbal or the dress he promised his daughter Guddo. His wife won't have vegetables for dinner. This is the hidden cost of corruption. It's not just a transaction, it's a direct theft from a child's education and a family's nutrition. In a country like Pakistan, where Transparency International has frequently highlighted how the police and land administration departments are perceived as some of the most corrupt, these small-scale bribes add up to billions of rupees annually. For the individual, like Shahab Din, it's a choice between two types of ruin: lose your business or starve your family to pay the bribe.
And the peon's justification is so revealing. He calls the official a villager like them, as if there's some shared identity or solidarity. But that's a lie. He uses that supposed connection to manipulate Shahab Din into trusting the backdoor deal. He says they have to put wheels on the files, a very common idiom in South Asian bureaucracy for greasing palms. The irony is that the official is reportedly in a 3-hour meeting followed by a mandatory tea break, making him totally unreachable through official channels. The only way in is through the back door that the peon controls. It transforms a public office into a private marketplace.
The story ends on this incredibly bitter note of victory. Once Shahab Din agrees to pay, he suddenly feels a sense of relief and pride. He marches toward the canteen to finalize the deal with the peon, feeling like a soldier. He's smiling for the first time all day, but it's a hollow triumph. He's just participated in the very system that's destroying his life. Haider is showing us how the victim is forced to become a participant in their own exploitation just to survive. The tragedy isn't just the loss of the 700 rupees, it's the normalization of the bribe as the only way to get a happy ending.
It makes me think about the broader context of Punjabi literature that deals with these themes of social decay. Writers in this tradition often use these afsanai or short stories to strip away the formal veneer of society. By focusing on the minutiae of the office interaction, Haider shows that the Saab, the official in the chair, doesn't even need to be seen to exert his power. His power is felt through the hunger of the peon and the desperation of the citizen. The official's tea time is more important than a man's entire life's work. It's a devastating critique of a post-colonial bureaucracy that inherited the structures of the British Raj but stripped away the accountability.
Exactly, and if you look at the statistics from organizations like the National Accountability Bureau in Pakistan, they often focus on these mega cases, the high-level political corruption. But for the average person, the mega corruption is this daily toll. It's the clerk at the electricity board, the officer at the police station, or the head clerk at the municipal committee. This story provides a human face to those statistics. When we hear that billions are lost to petty bribery, we should see Shahab Din's daughter not getting her new dress. We should see the empty vegetable plate on the table. Haider isn't just telling a story, he's documenting a slow-motion social catastrophe.
The language itself adds a layer of texture. Using Punjabi allows Haider to tap into a specific cultural rhythm of humor and tragedy. The way the peon uses colloquialisms to mask the ugliness of the bribe makes it feel even more sinister. It's putting wheels on the file, or jada, an offering. These euphemisms are essential to the survival of the system because they allow everyone to pretend it's just how things work rather than a crime. Shahab Din calling the peon Saab Bahadur out of sheer habit and fear shows how deeply the power dynamics are internalized.
There's also the element of time. The official schedule is used as a weapon. The meeting that lasts until 3, the tea break that takes an hour. These aren't just administrative facts. They are barriers designed to exhaust the citizen. If you wait long enough and become desperate enough, 700 rupees starts to look like a bargain compared to losing your shop. The peon is an expert at reading that exhaustion. He waits until Shahab Din is literally staggering from a dizzy spell before he makes his move. It's predatory in the most literal sense.
Ultimately, the story asks if there's any way out. When the peon says, "Don't put pressure on your thick brain, just talk about pulling out the money," he's shutting down any attempt at logic or justice. He's telling Shahab Din that his thoughts, his rights, and his situation don't matter. Only the transaction matters. It's a very bleak view of the state-citizen relationship. The Saab inside the room is a ghost, a myth of authority, while the reality is the cash changing hands in the canteen.
It highlights a profound lack of trust. In many developed systems, you trust that the rules will be followed. Here, the only thing Shahab Din can trust is that money talks. The tragedy is that this lack of trust becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Because he can't trust the system to protect his kiosk, he pays the bribe, which further weakens the system. It's a cycle that Haider captures perfectly in a few pages. It reminds me of the work of other social realists like Saadat Hasan Manto, who also focused on the bottom of society to reveal the rot at the top.
It's interesting you mention Manto because there's that same sense of clinical observation here. Haider doesn't lecture the reader. He doesn't have a narrator come in and say corruption is bad. He just shows you the physical reaction of a man swallowing his spit when he hears the word 1,000. He shows you the peon's muffler and his cigarette smoke. That sensory detail makes the injustice feel visceral rather than abstract. You can almost feel the heat and the dust of that hallway.
And that final image of Shahab Din walking like a soldier to the canteen, it's so haunting. He's been defeated, he's been robbed, and yet he feels like he's won because he found a way to survive for one more day. That is the ultimate success of a corrupt system. When the victims start to feel proud of their ability to navigate the corruption, they stop seeing themselves as citizens with rights and start seeing themselves as players in a rigged game. It's a total erosion of the civic soul.
It leaves you wondering about the Saab inside. Is he actually in a meeting? Is he even aware of the backdoor deals his peon is making? In a way, it doesn't matter. Whether he's actively corrupt or just willfully ignorant, the result is the same for the people outside his door. The office is a black box where justice goes to die, and the peon is the only one with the key. It's a powerful reminder of why transparency and the simplification of bureaucratic processes are so critical, not just for the economy, but for the basic mental health of a population.
Every time a process is made unnecessarily complex, a peon is given a job. Every time a meeting is closed to the public, a back door is opened. Haider's story is a timeless critique because these structures persist. Even with the move toward digital governance in some areas, the thick-headed citizen is still often at the mercy of the gatekeeper who knows how to put wheels on the file. It's a story that resonates far beyond the specific setting of a Punjabi office.
It's a call to look closer at the small interactions that define our public life. If we only look at the Saab in the chair, we miss the entire drama unfolding in the hallway. We miss the real cost of power. Saab Nal Mlaqat isn't just about a meeting, it's about the invisible walls we build between people and the price we charge them to walk through. If you found this analysis of Punjabi literature and social systems insightful, share this episode with someone who cares about the human stories behind the headlines.